Hello all and welcome back again. So I've decided to do a little upgrade on my PC. Basically I'm going to change the case over, some new fans, new AIO cooler and a couple of other little bits and bobs that you'll find out about later on. It's just an aesthetic thing just now, and later on I'll get around to basically adding new hardware for better performance, new motherboard, processor, memory and so on. So first things first, we're going to do a little overview of my new NV5 case from Phanteks. Let's get into it. First off, one of the things I'd like to talk about is the packaging, which I think is often missed. Bearing in mind that this case only costs £95 and the black one's £85, I think it's important to point out how well this is actually packaged by Phanteks. I'll just get this out of the box and I'll show you what I mean. A lot of other cases it's just basic bits of polystyrene and stuff, but you can see right away that the Phanteks is, guys at Phanteks have packaged this really well with nice thick polystyrene sandwiched in between cardboard. Just flip this onto its roof, and I'll take off the one that covers the feet, and as you can see it's angled to match the slope of the bottom of the case to protect the bottom of the case as well. And then if we just flip this over, get it back onto its feet, again you'll see the top of the case is protected with this thick like sponge polystyrene with a bit of cardboard as well, sandwiched in between for extra protection. And then the whole case itself is covered by this cloth-like material, which is superb I think, just for protection, just to ensure that there's no scratches or anything on the glass. But yeah, I thought I'd just point that out, that that's a nice touch by Phanteks. Now we'll move on to removing the side panels, which is two captive thumb screws here for the side glass panel. Just unscrew those, the one at the bottom and the one at the top, and then the glass panel should pull towards the back of the case and then just slip out. Just unscrew this one properly. So easy, just comes out like that. Then to the top panel, again two captive thumb screws at the back of the case up here. And again, if we just unscrew these by hand, one and then two, the top panel should slide towards the back of the case, similar to the side glass panel I showed you just before. So the top panel again is fully metal, it's all perforated up the top here for your top fans or your top radiator, and you'll see that there's no inline filter, so there should be plenty of airflow. Onto the front glass panel, if you want to remove these, there's two Phillips screws here, so you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver for this. Remove the one at the top first, and the second one down the bottom here. So once these are loosened off, the panel should pull towards you. Let's give it a little tug and it comes away. As you can see, the glass is clear, there's no tint to that, but that's how you remove that panel. Now for the other side panel, we've got another two captive thumb screws down the bottom and up the top here. Screw those by hand as always, and that allows you access to the sides of the case. Again, an all metal panel with the ventilation at the side here for your side fans or radiator if you choose to mount that there. I'll spin this back round and show you other panels you can remove. And inside we have a PSU shroud cover here that we can take off. This is an excellent little feature on this NV5 case. Down the bottom here we've got another thumb screw. If we just unscrew that, it allows us to pop this panel off. And this is ideal, gives us basically another access to the PSUs once it's installed in case you forget any cables and what have you. So panel just pops off, and put that to the side. You can see the access space we've got in here for getting into your PSU. Tons of space. Down the bottom we've also got a little removable panel for your 120mm intake at the bottom of the case. Round the back of the case here you'll see another Phillips screwdriver, which should be here I believe, yep. It's just a one screw. Move this in the little tray, it should just pop out, which it does. And you can see the screw hole there. Easy. Just pop this back round and show you what else we've got. Now onto the bottom of the case, and you'll see the large 4 rubber feet. I tilt this on its back, and we also have the filter for the power supply unit and the 120mm intake fan at the bottom. You can remove this filter from the front and the back of the case, but just be warned it can only be removed from the front when you take the front glass panel off. Only found that out by trying to do it first time, and I realised you had to take the panel off. But it should just be a case of slipping this back in, and as you can see I'm crap at that. Second attempt, and then it goes back in. But yeah, just remember, it will only come out the front when you remove the front glass panel. You'll notice with all the panels removed that this case is pretty sturdy. Don't think there's much chance of bending it unless you put real pressure on it, but it's great for access to everything when you come to install all your gear. We have support here for a mini ITX, micro ATX, ATX and eATX, but just be warned with the larger motherboard that it may cover the grommets here on the side for your cables passing through. At the side here we have support for 3 120mm fans or a 360 radiator. At the bottom we have support for a 120mm fan. Up the top again 3 120mm fans or a 360 radiator. And at the back we've also got the option of a 120mm fan or a 120mm radiator. When I show you the top of the case you'll see there is no options at all for 140mm fans, 120 only. Over here we have a small reset button, the power button, the RGB mode button, the RGB colour button, a USB Type-C port and 2 USB-A 3.0 ports, and then a combined audio and mic jack here. Round the back we have this door that can swing open, and inside you'll see a small accessories box here. If we can just get this out and I'll show you what's inside. Let's get this little cable tie thing at the roads. So in the box, pretty sure, yep, there's some instructions, a little safety information leaflet here, which nobody ever reads, and a guide of basically how to remove all the panels, what comes with the case, all the details of the RGB options that you get when you flick through the buttons at the top. Yeah, inside, description of how to remove the panels and how to mount all the gear and stuff like that. And then here we've got a really nice little box that Phanteks provides to keep all your screws nice and neat and handy. And we've got the motherboard screws, we've got some hard drive screws, a little standoff removal tool, and some extra screws as well for your graphics cards if you want to use that to screw them down, and yeah, some additional cable ties as well, they'll never go wrong. On the side here we've got a nice metal hinge door which has support for 3 3.5 inch hard drives or 4 2.5 inch SSDs, and that is your only mounting options for your hard drives. Just pushes in and there's little kind of rubber stoppers that hold it in place. And here we've got plenty of tie down points with Phanteks velcro straps, and there's additional little tie down points that you can use for cable ties. And here should be all the cables for connecting up to your motherboard. So we should have the USB 3.0 connection to your motherboard, the audio connection from the audio jack up the top, USB Type-C, SATA power for the inbuilt RGB controller. We should also have the front, or I should say top, power switch and reset switch plug, which is it's all the one connector, which is nice to see rather than individual pins. We have also got an RGB cable here if you want your motherboard to control the lighting on this. For PSU support, we can fit a maximum length PSU of 230mm, which is plenty of space, but it's nice to see that there's no hard drive cage in here, which more often than not we remove, so tons of space in here for cabling. Again, at the side here you can see there's only room for 3 120mm fans, no 140mm fans option. If we turn the case round at the back, you'll see the mounting option for the rear exhaust 120mm fan up here, and then we have a couple of Phanteks straps again to tie down your cables. Got some covers for your PCIe slots and a multi cover here which keeps things nice and clean. Your PSU's sitting at the angle, which you may have noticed, which gives you plenty of intake at the bottom. Here we've got a little rubber grommet, which I believe is a pass-through for the NV5 LCD accessory you get to hook up to your graphics card. Back to the inside of the case, we have the RGB strip here that runs on the outside of the PSU shroud, and we also have the built-in anti-sag bracket, which is a great feature. Plenty of movement on this, and it works no matter what way you orientate your graphics card, whether it's horizontally mounted or vertically mounted. Tons and tons of adjustment, which is a fantastic feature. You can even remove some of the thumb screws as well to give you a little bit extra height if needed. Up the top here we've got some nice cutouts to bring all your cables through that you need to hook up to the top of your motherboard. And down the side we've got some 90-degree rubber grommets which feel really nice, and that's for your 24-pin motherboard cables, your Sata cables, your USB Type-C cables and so on. Another little feature to show you on the PSU shroud cover is the little rubber flap up the top corner. I believe this is for passing the HDMI cable through from the Phanteks LCD screen through to the back of your case. Last but not least, I'll show you some of the RGB effects. First off, I'll just start pressing the colour button to show you the different options in the colours. And you can see there's tons and tons of options. I don't think you'll be lost for choices. Click the mode button here and it goes to like a breathing effect, and again you can click through the colours. This is going to get boring, so bear with me. Just trying to show you the different effects, just to show you how good the actual inbuilt RGB controller is with this case. A kind of chaser effect, and again you can flick through all the different colours for that as well. You can't complain. Again, for the price they've got this added in, I think it's fantastic. Tons and tons of options. Different style of chaser effect here. It's quite a nice one, that. Again, lots and lots of colour choices. Kind of lava fire colour effect there. Nice aqua blue colour. Blue and yellow if that's your fancy. Green and purple for your Hulk style themes. Pink and blue. There's tons, never ending. Another kind of breathing effect here that changes from one colour to another. Green to white, back to green. Blue to white, back to blue. And then we've got steady colours, and you can just see as I press the button here the different colours you can flick through again. You'll be sick of me talking about this, but I thought it was worthwhile showing you all the different effects. You'll definitely not be lost for choice. And that's us. Right, first things first, I need to apologise. Normally anytime I'm kind of doing an overview or an unboxing, I give dimensions right away, and it totally went out of my head to do that for this case. So I've just jumped onto the Phanteks website for you, and the case is 239mm wide, which is 9.4 inches. It's 477mm deep, which is 18.8 inches, and it's 528mm high, which is 20.8 inches. Totally apologise about that, just don't know why I forgot to do it, but anyway, that's covered now. Other thing is as well, a lot of these videos you tend to find or get to see the final build or whatever, but as I mentioned at the start of the video, this is a work in progress, so this is just the start of the transformation of my PC. Next thing I'm going to be doing a video on is the Phanteks NV5 Premium RGB kit, which adds a lot of real nice new RGB elements along the edge of the glass and along the motherboard tray. So hopefully I'll get that one out to you soon, guys. But hope you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's maybe helped some of you decide what your next case is going to be. I'm really looking forward to building this case, and I'll be along with another video soon. See you later.